Alright, and welcome back to World of Warships with Bogatir. Alright, after far too long of a bit of a vacation here, I am back, and I'm back with a Tier 4 match on the Archipelago map. I'm taking my Kaiser out, and I actually really like this battleship, and I'm going to get around to doing a review of it at some point. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. The turret layout's a little bizarre, but you get used to it pretty fast, and it's a bit of a monster at this tier. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to talk about British cruisers. Since the last time I did a replay, the British cruisers got added to the game, and they are an interesting lot. Uh, that's probably putting it nicely. Just to go over it in case anybody doesn't know, British cruisers don't get high explosive ammo. All they have is a special kind of armor piercing with a really short detonator, which makes it fairly effective against destroyers. And they also get a smoke screen, which is a very short duration smoke screen. What they don't get is armor, and even by cruiser standards, they're pretty empty of armor. So right now I'm going to head over towards A because I think A works a little bit better for battleships, and the Kolberg picked the wrong time to start moving. So time to trade a little paint. This map, Archipelago, is kind of a nice map. I like it. Down here at this tier level, it's a very similar, I would probably say, to the trap map up at higher levels. And I actually like that map too, so this works out pretty well here. Now, both teams have quite a few of the new British cruisers on them, which is pretty normal. New line of ships gets added to the game, so everybody wants to play them. And oh, we have our first customer. So, yeah, I'm kind of watching that Kolberg, just seeing where he's planning on going. Mostly I don't want him running in front of my guns. I have done some serious damage to teammates before because they insisted on cutting right in front of me. Alright. This guy keeps popping in and out of line of sight. Well, I'm spotted. No surprise there. Enemy Wyoming over there. Suzuki. Oh, and here is a Danae. Get the lead. Shots out. And yeah, that guy's going broadside on to a bunch of other ships, and boom, there you go, Citadel. 2 shots, one of them right into a Citadel. Ouch. Well, actually 3 shots. 2 over pins in a Citadel. And here is the Caledon. And it's another British cruiser, and these guys, this is a pretty aggressive push for any cruiser, but for a British cruiser, yeah, this is really kind of a bad idea because boom, double Citadel, and he is dead. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I really do love British cruisers. Mostly when I'm on this end of British cruisers. When I'm in a battleship and there's British cruisers around, yeah, bring them on. Love them. They don't need any changes. In reality, though, yeah, they probably need some help. Probably the best comparison I've heard made for British cruisers is that they are essentially destroyers with citadels. Oh, and there's another one. A DNA, and I don't think I gave him enough lead. So, shots out, but nothing happening. Alright, now that Wyoming is just going to be sitting there. Suzuki, he's also bow in, so this guy's probably the better customer. And oh, he's firing high explosive. Honestly, right now with me showing most of my broadside to him, this guy should be slinging armor piercing, but he's tossing high explosive out there. Maybe he's shooting for one of our cruisers, I don't know. But get good lump of damage in on him, and I get T-boned by the Phoenix. My team, the enemy's team, doesn't matter what team they're on, the Phoenixes are after me. Alright, so this guy's getting straightened out and actually getting moving again. Lead. Shots out. And there we go. Now, admittedly, one of the things I kind of wanted to point out here is I think at lower tiers, battleships really shine. If you know what you're doing, at low tier in a battleship, you can do a lot. You can make a much bigger impact than in cruisers and destroyers. And oh, here we go. Another pair of Danaes. I think were these guys in a division? Yeah, they were. These guys are div mates. Just waiting for the turrets to get around. And shots out. Oh, this is going to be ugly. And boom. One cruiser just deleted from the game. Oh my gosh. Yep. British cruisers. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, the cruisers are actually not terrible. British cruisers actually, I've seen quite a few guys have some very spectacular games in them. The problem is that they're high skill cap ships, but they're also extremely high skill floor ships. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't really behave yourself very well, you're not going to get anything out of these ships. You're going to get yourself creamed every single match. You definitely need to know what you're doing just to be able to survive and get any kind of damage done. And as you can see, those first two cruisers and then that third one that I deleted, they all were just way too aggressive and exposed themselves. You really need to play these British cruisers much more like an American destroyer. Because you have no armor, but you've also got a citadel. And that's just, yep, there we go. Another citadel. And it doesn't matter the angle. Even though I've got some of these guys broadside, you can score citadels on these ships at virtually any angle. They just have no armor to speak of. And so against battleship caliber guns, it doesn't matter if they're angled. Just, aim at them. If you can land shots, you're probably going to get citadel hits. Alright, lead. There we go. And boom. Alright, no citadels, but still quite a bit of damage on them. And I am going to try to run myself aground. Of course, one of the other aspects of the British cruisers is they have torpedoes. So this guy is definitely setting me up for a torpedo shot right here. And, yep. Get around. Boom. Another citadel and a dead ship. And one of the things, if you ever see a cruiser and their guns go silent, that's one of those things that I would definitely learn. There we go. Turn broadside. Ouch. Alright. I'm going to be a smart aleck and I pay for it, so there we go. But yeah, if you ever see a cruiser who makes a turn towards you, who is not firing his guns, he's lining up for torpedoes. One thing I tell pretty much anybody is, just assume every other ship in the game has torpedoes, and that they're going to try to torp you. If you're in a battleship, just assume that everybody has torpedoes and they're out to get you, because they are. So, that Danae, he did a good chunk of damage to me. That was about 15,000 damage with those torpedoes, but he is also now completely out of the game. Alright, so we got A capped, but the enemy has got B and C, but we're quite far ahead on ships, so not overly worried. Now, one thing I did in this game is I pushed aggressively into A, and then I pushed in after those cruisers to clean up everybody that was over here on the west side of the map. And that's, if you're in a battleship, don't sit at the back. I mean, even if you're a Japanese battleship, don't sit all the way at the back of the map trying to be a shotgun sniper across it. You're not going to actually help your team out. Alright? Well, here's an interesting shot of a St. Louis. You don't usually get to see them, see other ships like this. But yeah, push. I mean, especially if you're in a German or an American battleship, you should be right up there with everybody else, pushing as hard as you can to help your team out. You can't hit anything anyways, so move up and get your guns in the game. Can't tell you how many times I've seen battleships sit way at the far back of the map, just trying to do that whole shotgun sniper routine, hoping that they get a lucky hit, who wind up being the last one or two ships alive, and they just didn't do anything for the team, and they lost. So, pushing aggressively into B, and yeah, at this point in the match, pretty much, I'm getting into a position where everybody is got cover. That is one of those issues that comes up on this map and on Trap a lot. That cap up there on the northeast corner, there's a lot of cover, and it's very easy to just not be able to get shots. Alright, so I move a little dirt on the mountain and run into that, I think that's the St. Louis, yeah. But yeah, the Kaiser, I'm definitely going to wind up doing a review of this ship because I really enjoy it. Although I gotta say, right now, British cruisers have almost kind of ruined it for me, just because it's so unbelievably wrong what you can do to them. Just kind of feel a little bit dirty. Alright, that Carl's U is coming around. And boom. Ah, that was kind of disappointing, only a single over penetration. So turning, trying to get the guns in. Some shots out. Hoping for a last minute kill, and maybe, yes, there we go. One last kill, and then a little tactical beaching to finish the game off. At this point, I run myself aground on the rocks, and I'm not going to contribute anything else to this battle at this point. But hey, trying desperately to get the turn in, but nope. There we go. Kiss the rock. So off to the results screen. Almost 75,000 damage. Not too bad. Top of my team, 1,260 experience points. A lot of that came from the captures. You know, that's one of those things that you get a ton of experience if you run in and you help capture a point. So you definitely want to do that, even if you're in a battleship. So I took out 2 Danés and the Karlsruhe. I crushed the Caledon. Just British cruisers, not even once. See you guys next time.